Hello everyone, this is Scarzig and welcome back to another episode of Duelyst. Today we're going to be playing some Songhai. Now this deck in its first form I had come up with a few months ago actually, but it turns out that this list is cursed. Every time I try to record an episode with the King of Beasts list, I get my ass kicked, and then I go, oh, well, maybe this deck isn't good after all, and I go back to the drawing board. And then, as soon as I think it's good, and I want to record an episode again, it keeps happening. But I figure that, this time, maybe we can break the curse. We've got the Shiba Inu Songhai skin, of course, because to be the king of beasts, you must become a beast. We've got 3 Inner Focus here, 2 Juxtaposition, 3 Katara, 3 Mist Dragon Seal, 3 Obscuring Blow, 2 Ethereal Blades, 3 Phoenix Fire. This is an extremely aggressive list if you haven't picked up on that yet. We've got 2 Piercing Mantis. Now this is a pretty interesting pick because I was trying to stick with like the animalistic theme and vibe of the deck. And Piercing Mantis has additional pressure, kind of like Chakri Avatar, where your opponent wants to deal with it, but because they don't want it to get immense value. So we just have it in there as an additional 2-drop so that we can threaten to ramp, and if our opponent doesn't deal with it, then we get to hit them for some AoE. This combines with all of our other buff spells and things like that as well to get that in. We've got 2 Battle Pandos, another beast, 2 Elkowls, which are really hilarious. The reason nobody plays Elkowls, right, is because a 3-mana 2/3 is kind of slow, and so you can't really play it when you're behind. But I've found that this deck can make really good use of the Elkowl because of Inner Focus or Mist Dragon Seal. I can choose to play this in a safe spot, and if it spawns with favorable stats, I can use Inner Focus to make immediate use of those, or use Mist Dragon Seal to put it wherever I need next turn, because this thing can get like Rush, Celerity, Provoke, Flying, Frenzy, like all this stuff that this aggressive deck really likes can sometimes appear in this card, and I think it's really hilarious. And it's a beast. We've got 2 Killing Edges, of course, 2 Lantern Foxes, an Onyx Bear Seal for emergencies, 1 Twilight Fox, which is, of course, a beast, and this allows us to mess with our opponent's positioning and get in some more burst damage with Obscuring Blow, things like that. We've got 2 Spelljammers in the deck for card draw. You could easily put in Sojourners instead, but I found that I like the higher base stats, and Sojourner, sometimes your opponent can make you overdraw off of it, and the Spelljammer, I think, to fill the 4 mana slot is really good for this deck. We've got 2 Beastmasters, of course. This combines with Inner Focus and Onyx Jaguar, which we have in the deck. 2 copies of this, and if you can get one of these to stick, then you just snowball the game from there. Heaven's Eclipse, just late game, if we do need to refill our hand, we'll be drawing a lot of these buff spells and a lot of movement spells so that we can hopefully get lethal on our opponent. And to top off the list, we have the Scientist. Now, this card hasn't seen too much play. When it first came out, it saw a little bit of play in Argion because you could use the Scientist and Roar to summon a 7-mana, like 8/6, and draw a card. And with all of the, buffs and single target spells we have in the list, Scientist really comes through for us late game to get some card draw. So that is what we're running with today. And let's see if I can do the deck proud. I actually haven't played against a lot of Abyssian. Alright, so right off the bat, the Elkowl is pretty interesting. But I think we have to replace these 2 and hope for a 2-drop. We really want Katara or Piercing Mantis. We'll replace the Twilight Fox as well. Nothing. That's really unfortunate. Very rarely do I actually skip turn 1 with this deck, but I guess it's just a matter of getting lucky with the Katara and Mantis plays. The other thing about this deck too is that it does rely heavily on Inner Focus to get up and running. So once we start drawing Inner Focus, we want to hold on to those for dear life. I like this too. Check this out. He's using the ooze to body block for the Abyssal Crawler. I'm going to Phoenix Fire this, and then just walk forward and kill the Abyssal Crawler. It would be nice. I could potentially take it slow and just play the Elkowl, but I think I want to nip this in the bud before too many Shadow Creep spaces spawn, because then Abyssal Juggernaut becomes kind of a pain for this deck to deal with. What do we want to replace, though? Miss Dragon Seal? Miss Dragon Seal would be really good with the Obscuring Blow. I think we replace the Twilight Fox. Piercing Mantis, that's cool. That's cool, that's perfect. Yeah, so we're going to Phoenix Fire and move forward. Unfortunately, we're again passing another turn where we aren't developing anything. But hopefully by, just taking care of that early board, we can keep things stabilized and then pull ahead with like a nice combo play. Inner Focus would really bring this hand together. Spelljammer, okay. That's pretty interesting. That actually pressures me into playing more cards. You see, that's why he's emptying his hand. And it's funny too, because Kaleos is the kind of deck that you typically don't want to give cards to. But let's see. I think we'll replace one Elkowl. Ethereal Blades. Interesting. What do we get? Blast and Frenzy. That's pretty hilarious. And we'll play the Piercing Mantis back here. Now check this out. We've got Obscuring Blow and Miss Dragon Seal. So if he, doesn't space his minions properly, then I can get a Frenzy off on a Backstab target, right? So that I don't take any damage, but then I still get that Frenzy off, and it's really difficult for your opponent to deal with. And once again, we see, just like I was talking about, the Piercing Mantis getting some removal used on it. Because we have the ability to give minions Backstab now, it actually makes Elkowl like that much better, because you get 2 keywords plus Backstab, and I think that with all of our buffs and things like that, it just makes it so good. Alright. Punish. That's fine. I thought he was going to do Grasp of Agony, which would have been really devastating. But we'll see how he deals with the Mantis. Ephemeral Shroud. Okay. I can move, kill the Ephemeral Shroud. I actually want to kill the Spelljammer, though. So let's replace an Ethereal Blades. Another Obscuring Blow. Again, an Inner Focus would be really good here. And I'm going to use Ethereal Blade so I can kill the Spelljammer. And I'm really low here, which is super unfortunate, but we'll see if we could bring this back. Because I think that from here, I just pull ahead. As long as I can keep bodies on the board. Plus, we had some pretty awkward draws early. Oh my god, I have Onyx Bear Seal for that. Thank the Lord. Okay, so... Scaring Blow is pretty interesting. I think we want to keep the Katara as well. So we're going to Onyx Bear Seal. And play the Katara over here where he can't get to it. And then Obscuring Blow. Yeah, we'll go from there. And I've got a Juxtaposition in hand to swap positions with whatever he summons. Right now, both of these minions are hitting for the same amount. So what I could potentially do is move before I Juxtaposition. That way the Battle Pando can backstab whatever he summons right here. You see. Move the Battle Pando. Move the Katara. Juxtaposition these two. Wow. Really valuing that card draw. And that's fine. He's creating distance, but I can just walk away from all this nonsense. And if I get, like, the Scientist or something, this is what I was talking about, where if games kind of drag on, if you're playing against somebody like this that's able to stall the game out on you, then you just get to, So I could actually get 2 backstabs here. Because I can, Mist Dragon Seal the Katara. Actually, what I should do is Juxtaposition here, then blink. That way the Katara can walk up and get the backstab with Obscuring Blow. I think that that's correct. Juxtaposition. Yeah. Then we Obscuring Blow to kill that, and then we blink. Because I have, like, these 2 really ridiculously strong minions on the board, I don't really care about giving up the card draw. So Onyx Jaguar is going to be really good for us as well. Our blink will be up next turn. The Pando throws a little bit of a wrench in our plans, unfortunately. But I can just bide my time. Because the Battle Pando, as it takes damage, I just need it to take 2 damage to proc twice. Oh, what do you got, mate? Does the Bassini have buffs? Demonic Lore, that's cool. Deals 1 damage. He can Abyssal Scar it as well. And then it would deal 1 damage from the Abyssal Scar. Then he'd take 1 damage from the... Nope. Wow. Okay. So I can kill this and then use Battle Pando's effect to destroy all the Wraithlings. So, first things first. We gotta walk away. Play the Onyx Jaguar here. The Katara just walks up. It's 2, and then it has Backstab 5. So that's a kill. I should have moved the Pando first. There was potential there that it would have spawned in a bad spot. And I do need it to proc, so I don't want to go for the Backstab at this time. I just want to walk and then blink so I can get that proc. And this is again why Onyx Jaguar is so good, is because late game, where your opponent's just trying to stall, isn't really pressuring me well, because we're both pretty much top decking. But I have bodies on the board. That's what's giving me the advantage here. If you're both top decking, it only matters who has minions on board. He should have protected his own back with the Pando. I don't know why he's not abusing that. And my minions are spread out, so he can't Grasp of Agony. Obliterate would actually let him clear the board. Obliterate plus Abyssal Scar. But this is fine. We're going on to 9 mana next turn, so I'm going to have Blink every turn. The Battle Pando does still have Backstab, remind you. Jaguars, Bite, and so he'll get buffed by moving around. Huh, okay. It gets +1/+1 because it moved from Demonic Lore. That's pretty hilarious. Alright, yeah, so he's slowly clearing my board. That's cool. Again, I want to just keep my distance. We'll play the Elkowl. What do we get? Ranged and Provoke. Look at that. And we will Mist Dragon Seal to get this nice juicy Backstab. And he can't hit the Elkowl, so I'll just leave it there to protect me. Sure. Now I really want to start fishing for Heaven's Eclipse and the Scientist to try to close this game out, because it's gone on for a long time. Fortunately for us, not a lot of Shadow Creep on the board. No Abyssal Juggernauts have been dropped yet. He ran out of cards early and has been top decking ever since. So, I mean, this is pretty interesting considering I pretty much didn't summon any minions my first 2 turns. Wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so again, see body blocking finally to prevent the Backstab. Alright, so Phoenix Fire, we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can actually Phoenix Fire this and still get a Backstab, but the Battle Pando proc actually kills this, and I'll probably Phoenix Fire here, because I don't want the Shadow Creeps to deal 2 damage each. So that's actually really clean for us. Phoenix Fire, and then attack. And we're gonna blink like so. Piercing Mantis, I'm sorry, you had your chance. You should have showed up in my opening hand if you wanted to be played this game. And don't get me wrong, Piercing Mantis is good if you can combo with Inner Focus and buffs and do crazy stuff. Because, I mean, Sword of Mechazor used to see a lot of play as a standalone minion in Songhai, because you could use Inner Focus to get that AoE, especially early game. So good for keeping the board under control. Yeah, so there's the Darkspine Elemental. What do we get? Oh, wait, I just kill him with Blink. Battle Pando's been living this whole time. Just mauling him. Mauled by a bear! Bam, finally. Okay, so that game went really long. Again, super fortunate for us that our opponent really didn't draw very well. No Rite of the Undervault came through either. At least we got to showcase maybe some of the damage potential of this deck and maybe some key positioning, but nothing too flashy there. Our opponent couldn't put up much of a fight once they left the early game. So I think we got to do this. Scientist. No. Really high curve. But because this deck is so bursty, you don't need to play turn 1 all the time. If only they had Shiba Inu emotes. Now this deck is spooky, because this could be the Variax deck, which I don't think this deck is actually fast enough to deal with. Look at this swarm, dear God. Holy hell. Alright. No Ghost Lightning in this deck. Lantern Fox is cool. But the thing about Lantern Fox is that he can make me burn a lot of stuff. And honestly, if he has like Deathfire Crescendo, like just straight up plays Deathfire Crescendo turn 2, I lose. So we'll replace the Jaguar. God damn it. Yeah, because if I play the Lantern Fox, then I burn all my damn Phoenix Fires. So I guess we do this for now. What do I get? Flying and Frenzy? That helps, if the Elkowl can survive. See, another like really busted keyword combination where I can move anywhere and AoE anywhere. So now he has to focus on spreading this swarm out. I just have to back up here. He took all the mana tiles on his first turn. He's only got 2 cards in hand. So if I can get this swarm cleaned up, then I just pull ahead on pure card advantage. Oh god. So he's gonna full surround the Blood Moon Priestess. Oh wait, I have juxtaposition. Hell yeah. All is not lost, comrades. Actually, I can just Phoenix Fire it and then fly in there in AoE. Let's go, let's go. Well played. Ooh, you know what? We're gonna keep it real. I gotta keep my bro alive. We're releasing the Spelljammer here because, again, we want to win this game off of card advantage. So we don't want to draw our opponent any cards. The Elkowl, bless the Flying Frenzy. And now he has to use removal on this thing, or else it's just going to keep him from getting a swarm up for the rest of the game. Is he going to trade in that Wraithling? Wow. Okay. So he's got 1 card in hand. Inner Focus would be really solid here. Oh, yeah, and he's got the 6. So, I mean, if you're only going to have 1 card, then getting this swarm up is probably your best option. Don't really need the Lantern Fox. The Piercing Mantis is actually really good here because he has to trade 2 things into it, potentially. I think I replaced Onyx Jaguar. Heaven's Eclipse. Yeah, so I'm getting like all the card draw now. How do I want to do this? Let's see. Play 6. And we'll play the Piercing Mantis here and the Lantern Fox here. That way the Gore comes up, gives me a Phoenix Fire. And we've got the Inner Focus. Yes, sirree, Bob. Let's go. Really wish this Gore would, spawn on the other side of the damn map and stop poking me. Smart little beastie. But shout out again to Elkowl. Shadow Reflection. Yo, he's going in on me. He knows. He knows that he needs to cash these Wraithlings in. This is actually really spooky. Let's see. So we don't need Heaven's Eclipse. Scientist is going to be pretty interesting in the next few turns. Yeah, so I'm just going to walk away. Play the Beastmaster. And finally, the fucking thing walks away. I'm also going to blink. Do I want to? Because I can save the blink and draw a card with the Scientist next turn. Yeah, so I'm actually going to save the blink. I have to Miss Dragon, Inner Focus, all that stuff. Yeah, I'll be on 7 mana, so I'll play Scientist, Miss Dragon. Beastmaster can attack, attack, and then Inner Focus lets it go attack, attack again. So it's about to tear him up. And I get to draw cards off of that. I'm going to replace first, of course, in case I get like Obscuring Blow or something. Ethereal Blades? Mamma mia. Okay, so I think what we do is skip out on drawing cards and we just go for the kill here. First things first, I want to... Actually, I don't need to blink. I can just Miss Dragon. Because Miss Dragon makes it a 3/6. And then I can attack twice. And then the Inner Focus allows me to attack more. And then the Ethereal Blades allows me to attack more. Oh my god. This is so disgusting. Oh, that burst. The Beastmaster. The Beastmaster coming through for me. Heavens to Betsy. Okay. But we have to tip him because the Elkowl, like, won us the game. And that's what makes Elkowl so good. Because every once in a while it gets, like, a really busted outcome. And just wins the game for you. Oh my god. Thank you. Thank you, Elkowl. Praise RNGesus. That's the new RNGesus card. But looks like we're going on 28 minutes, and I think that's pretty good. Yeah, holy hell. I got pretty lucky with the Frenzy Flying. Oh, he wants a rematch, yo. Let's go back in. Let's go back in. I'm down. I'm down. He knows. I got lucky. So we're going to have the special extended edition episode where we got to let our opponent get the rematch. Digging this. So we get the Katara opening. Don't need the Onyx Jaguar so early though. Let's go. What if I just BS him again? Like, what if he like doesn't draw anything? Or if he gets the second opening of God? Because I got lucky with the Elkowl, but he got like the most ridiculous opening. Took all 3 mana tiles and just had bodies all over the board. Alright. Cool. I think now is actually a good time to play a Lantern Fox. I'm going to do this play because it has potential to protect the Katara. And, I mean, I don't care if he gets that mana, really. I could potentially Inner Focus here. Basically, I'm turning the Inner Focus into a Phoenix Fire. but I think that Inner Focus is too good in this deck for me to use it so minimally like that. Yeah, and Katara can be at 1, it doesn't matter. Okay, so he's got the Sphere of Darkness, that's cool. So Katara took out 2 Wraithlings. Wow. Oh, I see. So he wants me to overdraw Phoenix Fire. That, of course, had the potential to happen. Wow, yeah. So he's like just vomiting his hand. And so I could have... It would be funny if I was like, oh man, that Swarm almost killed me. I better put in, you know, Ghost Lightnings to counter that. And then if I just like put Ghost Lightnings in this deck right before he challenged me. But let's see. What do we do here? The Gore... What do we get? Ranged and Provoke. And again, this is what I was talking about with the Elkowl. If you get something really useful, you Inner Focus, and then you get to use it. There isn't really a bad combination for Elkowl to get. It's just the body itself is so bad, you often don't get to use the keywords. Or, you know, you can't like really use them for any useful purpose. But because Songhai has the ability to give whatever rush and to give it attack power, you know, it lets you make better use of those keywords. Like, you know, a 2-3 ranged is kind of whatever. A 2-3 for 3 ranged unit is a Widowmaker. So that's 1 charge down. Yeah, so getting an Inner Focus would be really sick here. No. If I should be so lucky. I'm going to play the Piercing Mantis here to body block. And because I broke the Spectral Blade. So right here, I just want the Elkowl to kind of help keep this Swarm under control. Once again, he's running low on cards. If I get Inner Focus, I get to do the same shit to him. Sojourner. That's really smart, so we can draw some cards. Battle Pando is actually really good here, too. Wow, holy smokes. Okay, so Ethereal Blade's Obscuring Blow is good for us here. Battle Pando AoE's this, but then we can't really deal with the Sojourner. If I play Battle Pando and get Inner Focus, that is. But I think that is the best bet. So we're going to replace the Beastmaster. Juxtaposition. Interesting. Okay, so I do want to get this this Backstab, though. So we'll play the... +2 attack and Obscuring Blow. Oh, that is really good. Yeah, so we'll Ethereal Blades and then Obscuring Blow to kill the Sojourner. It only draws you a card if it deals damage, so it won't draw him a card. And we play the Battle Pando to body block the Elkowl more. And now he can't touch the Battle Pando, or else it kills his Swarm. I think my deck honestly just counters this. It's iffy. It's iffy. I think it's because he's playing it out too quickly and relying on Deathfire Crescendo or something to follow up with it, because both of these times he's gotten really heavy swarms on the board. Yep, and so there we go. He's using his last removal to finally finish off this range unit. And he's tilted. Elkowl tilted him, so he's like using too many resources on it. And so now he's empty. I've got Obscuring Blow. Okay, cool. Yeah, so he is respecting that. So we'll replace the Juxta. I do want to play a bit defensively here. Or do I? Ethereal Blades would be 4, 8, 9. And then it clears the board. And then that would put me down to 7. And what does that get me? No, I think that I just have to take it nice and slow here. Onyx Jaguar. He's got one card in hand. How is he going to deal with the Battle Pando? Spectral Revenant would be absolutely nuts here. Ooh. No, you lose 2 charges. Okay. Let's see. Onyx Jaguar, move. Obscuring Blow on him. Ethereal Blades. Yeah, that's lethal. It's rough. Well played. And, truth be told, he can blame the Elkowl again if he wants to. Because I'm trying to think of what's a bad combo. But that is the end. Shout out to Cloudwind, because seriously, this deck is just for memes. And I'm not trying to shit talk him at all. That Elkowl saved my ass in that first game hard as hell. And that second game, the Elkowl, you know, getting range probably did a little bit more work than it normally would. But definitely well played by my opponent. And I will see you next time. You have a good one.